What's up, y'all? This is your girl Lance of BH Capital Enterprises, where I teach mainly how to read price action. However, I do some teaching on, stock markets in terms of fundamental analysis and all that good stuff, how to evaluate companies, how to evaluate the markets from a top-down perspective, so to speak. But if you're new here, or if you haven't done so already, please do me the favor of subscribing to my channel, and be sure to click that notification bell so that you'll receive an alert whenever I put up new content. Make sure you go back and check out some of my old content, depending on your interest. So I have things that are centered on charts, and then I have things that are centered on fundamental analysis. Um, and of course, more content, coming your way in the future. But welcome to this current episode of Market Markups, where I pretty much pull up a chart, kind of at random, and do some analysis on it from a technical perspective. So today, I'm going to be looking at Netflix. As you can see, ticker is NFLX. And I'm going to do what's called a top-down analysis. So I'll start with the bigger picture, and I'll work my way in and try to come up with a hypothesis on, what's going on, what may happen in the future. All right, so looking at the yearly chart on Netflix, we have clear phase two advancing here in terms of the market structure. We may be entering, phase three, which is some consolidation, but, it's too soon to tell. As this year is far from over. So we'll just keep an eye on it and see how it goes as the years progress. But so far, phase two, maybe early phase three. So we're somewhere in there. Obviously bullish long term for Netflix. Going down to the monthly chart, see how this monthly chart is looking. Same kind of theory that I was speaking on with the last chart is that, maybe, Netflix has entered into, some phase three, which is consolidation. And as you can see here on the monthly chart, Netflix has been consolidating for several months now. So very range bound price action. Wide range, but range bound nonetheless. Phase two here, it advanced out of September of last year, or no, is this actually October of 2019? So very long period of advancing for Netflix. So now it's taking a breather. What I typically like to do is to make note of those ranges that I see in the chart, and I may wait to see how the daily, or not the daily, but the weekly chart looks before, weekly or daily chart looks before I start to draw my ranges. So what I'm seeing here is, we got something like a left shoulder here, maybe a head happening here. So we could have something like a head and shoulders pattern, maybe. We could also see, maybe a bull pennant flag. So we have options here on both sides of the play here, or both sides of the setup. So in the instance that it's a bull pennant, then at some point Netflix is going to have a lot of upside over the next, maybe from now to on into maybe 2023. But time will tell. Time will tell. Like I said, it's just a hypothesis. It could be. I'm completely okay with being wrong if it is wrong. Like I said, I just pull up charts and hypothesize on what may happen based on what's happening currently, and also based on what has happened historically. So, Netflix pulled back pretty decently from the all-time high, which was 593, which it hit that level right after earnings. But it quickly pulled back and has not um, reached that level since then. So far the month of March has been bearish for Netflix. And I'd expect that maybe heading into summer, people probably won't be watching a lot of Netflix. Maybe people, we've been holed up for almost a year now. Um, so people are for sure going to want to get out and do some things, uh, uh, as opposed to sitting in the house and binging Netflix shows all day. So just a thought, just a thought. So yeah, I'd make note of this range here that Netflix has been trading in. Seeing some uh, higher lows here on the uh, monthly chart overall, but still just consolidating. No clear trend here on the monthly chart, um, but it's still a lot of opportunity within that consolidation because Netflix is so volatile that you can catch some great moves within that the upper and lower limits of that consolidation range. Let's check out this weekly chart. Boom, as you can see again, phase 3 consolidating after a nice move to the upside from 259, 260ish on up to uh, 500 plus range. So matter of fact, when I see ranges of consolidation, I like to draw like a little rectangle, a shaded rectangle, and try to capture that. So as you can see, it's quite a bit. That range is pretty wide, as you can see from that's a near 100-point swing. So Netflix, for the most part, has been trading um, within 100-point range for the most part. So if I were um, considering, maybe picking up some shares or something like that, really, I would probably personally, of course, this is not any kind of investment advice, I just do this for fun. I would be probably looking to see what happens out of this range. So, um, with me, if I wanted to get some shares, of course, I want to buy shares for cheap. So, usually, after phase 3 of the market structure or the market cycle, phase 4 is called markdown, and that's when the price drops. So that's what, if I were looking to get shares, that's what I would be hoping for. That's not to say that's what's going to happen, but that's just something that I would be, hoping for or looking for. Um, but either way, when it comes to, either way, really, if I were looking long term at a long term position on Netflix, whether it be stocks or options, I would probably be waiting to see what happens at the outer limits of this range before I make a move. Um, so yeah, let's say if Netflix does um, break down out of this range, we got a small, we got a little bit of static right below that. But 420 is definitely, a level that I pay attention to. If it breaks down at 420, I will probably be looking below the $400 range. But I don't expect, that Netflix will fall, below 300 or anything like that, unless, we had some catastrophic stuff like some COVID type news. You know what I'm saying? Um, not that, you know, not that COVID was bad for Netflix, but you know what I mean, the significance of the catalyst. Um, so Netflix, hold on, let's see, from about here. Hold on, I'm doing some math right quick because I see a pattern. Ah, okay. Okay, so yes, this is definitely where Netflix has topped out, at the top range of a pattern, um, or a particular a specific type of pattern, on this weekly time frame. So uh, best to exercise patience and just wait to see, what's next for Netflix, in terms of its price action. Be looking for any type. I'd be looking for any type of news that would confirm, a downward move or an upward move. But for now, nothing's really, significant is happening with Netflix from a fundamental perspective to force that price action, to break out of this holding pattern that it's been in for, uh, wow, since last summer. So it's important to look at these, longer time frames to maintain context, so to speak, so you know what is going on with, what the sentiment is on your longer term or your long term outlook for, um, any ticker that you're looking at. So Netflix is just chilling, man. If you think about it, Netflix has run, from September of 2019, from the mid 200s to almost 600 this year. So that's a very hard run. And price can't and will not, um, stay on that type of, trajectory for, forever. It'll do it for long periods of time sometimes, but it won't do that forever. So at some point, the price has to chill out. And so that's what we're seeing on Netflix right now. It's just chilling. Um, but at least, with some due diligence, you can be more prepared for whatever is next in store for Netflix in terms of, its price action, whether it be a sell off or whether, people start buying into it again. So, um, I won't even try to anticipate what that news could be, but I'll just keep my eyes and ears out for whatever it is. Same thing on the daily chart. Clear phase three here, or just consolidating. Um, like I said, if I were, trading options or anything like that, I swing trading options, at least I would probably be looking to, trade Netflix at the outer limits of this price range, and just trading it in the opposite direction, um, sometimes. But overall, yeah. So still, same hypothesis is holding up where Netflix is in this consolidation zone, and it's just best to wait, in my opinion, and see, what happens next. So at that point, I would be looking for, let me put some volume on here. Yeah, so I would be looking to see if, the volume kind of picks up, um, if the volume picks up or if it, tapers off. So, just on this daily chart, I would be looking to see if the volume is kind of gradually picking up at key levels. And then I would know or have a good idea of, okay, this might be my move here. Um, yeah, I'm trying to see what else I see here because, of course, I don't, look at these charts ahead of time. Netflix is a company that I won't say closely follow, but I've been following for, some years, from a technical perspective. But it's one that, it's not on my regular, watch list of companies, because it's just difficult to keep up with a bunch of companies. So I've trimmed my watch list down to like maybe five tickers, and Netflix just didn't make the cut so far. So, um, Yeah, let me see where it is in relation to the 50 and the 200-day moving average. Okay, so right now it's wedged between those two moving averages, as you can see. So the purple line is your 200-day moving average, and the blue line is your 50-day moving average. So, I would just be taking note of that, for the past week, week and a half maybe, Netflix has been trading between the 50 and the 200-day moving average. So I would just be looking to see, if we get a breakdown of that 200 or a breakout at that three or breakout at that 50-day moving average, just to, see what's going on. Short term anyway. So, personally, I would take note of where the 200-day moving average is and where the 50-day moving average is. And, look to see if Netflix, continues to test those levels, or if it just continues to, kind of trade in between those. Um, so it's like a range within an overall range. So long term you have your 100-point range, but short term you have like a 30-point or so range going on here on the daily chart. Um, yeah, yeah. So nothing really significant going on with Netflix right now in terms of the price action. I don't really see any significant, opportunities right now that just stick out at me. It's just a matter of knowing that Netflix is one to just wait on, and I'm completely okay with that. Waiting is very important when you're trading in the markets, and especially when you're trading options. So I definitely wouldn't assume that Netflix is going to be bullish or bearish out of this range. I would just wait for my signals to confirm to me what Netflix is going to do. And signals could be, some sort of catalyst in the news cycle. It could be, indicators on the chart, just the price action itself. So, um, yeah, unlike the last video, this one's not very long because, Netflix is just chilling. Netflix. So, I would one thing that I would do is see if there's any sort of correlation between Netflix and the markets, at least post COVID, to see, what Netflix kind of does. So, um, people, are just automatically assuming with these COVID stocks that, they're just bullish, bullish, bullish. But we can see, things like Zoom, COVID has been priced in. Zoom, Netflix, Roku, all these companies are pulling back from their highs, but Zoom specifically, and maybe I'll look at Zoom in the future in another video if I remember, but Zoom's one that doesn't often cross my radar because I don't follow it on a regular basis. But yeah, don't make any assumptions. Look at the price action, see what the price action is telling you, and that's it. Don't add your bias into it. Try to be as neutral as possible. You can definitely be biased when it comes to the charts. And the way that you attempt to eliminate that bias is by considering potential on both sides. Really all three sides, because you got bullish, bearish, or consolidation. Really. So you gotta be open to any one of those opportunities, or any one of those potentialities, I guess I should say. So yeah, right now Netflix is just saying chill, chill, man, chill. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. If you take a look at Netflix and see what you see. Um, any questions in the comment or any questions, leave them in the comments. If there are any tickers that you would like for me to look at, feel free to shoot my way. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you guys learned a little something. Sorry that I happened to choose a company that doesn't have a ton of stuff going on right now. But it is what it is. I'm okay with chilling. Um, but yeah, thanks for watching. Catch y'all in the next one.